So in the bracket here, still lots of matches to go in the first round. Women's singles. The winner of this match will take on either Teta Tuza from Myanmar or Wang Ziyi of China, the 7th seed.
And now please welcome Michelle Lee, Canada.
So Michelle Lee's just been announced.
Kim Ga Eun, Korea.
Kim Ga Eun as well now, both going to make their way on. So Michelle Lee's also been playing quite a bit recently. Malaysia Masters, Thailand Open and Singapore Open. Kim Ga Eun, the same. She's actually been out in the opening round of her last 2 tournaments, Kim Ga Eun. She lost to An Se Young in the Singapore Open, Han Yue in the Thailand Open, so hoping to avoid a hat-trick of first round exits. Michelle Lee has got the record here, 3-1 she's
red will be your color.
overall, but the last meeting was 4 years ago in the head-to-head. So a lot would have changed since then. Michelle Lee's won her last 3 in a row in the first round, so including beating PV Sindhu at the Thailand Open. Michelle Lee, 31, born in Hong Kong, China. Moved to Canada when she was 6 years old, currently 13th in the world, and is as high as 8th. That was in October of 2019. As a former Commonwealth Games champion in 2014, 2022. Last year she got a silver. At the Pan American level, she has been outstanding in that region. Kim Ga Eun is 25 from Ulsan. Her highest ranking has been 15th. She's currently 27th. 15th was achieved just over 3 years ago, I should say. And her best achievement in singles World Junior Championship bronze medal in 2016. And at the World Tour level, she has won the Linktree China Masters in 2019 and the Hyderabad Open in 2018. In terms of BWF World Tour for Michelle Lee, she has won 3 titles. The Canada Open most recently last year. Simon Aomon Feng from Hong Kong, China is our umpire. Trish Gubb from New Zealand, the service judge. Against Koreans, Michelle Lee's won 5 out of 8 in the opening round. So a decent record against them.
Ready to play.
Indonesia Open previously, Michelle Lee has never got past the second round. 6 times she's been eliminated in the opening round of the 8 times she's been here, Michelle Lee. As for Kim Ga Eun, twice before she's been here, 21 and 22, and she lost both of those in the opening round. So she's hoping to avoid a hat-trick of first round exits.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match on court 2. Please welcome the technical official.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Ga Eun, Korea. And on my left, Michelle Lee, Canada. Michelle Lee to serve. Love all, play.
The umpire of the match, Indonesia.
Nice confident start there from Michelle Lee.
Indonesia. And now please welcome Lakshya Sen, India.
Two, love.
Versus
Remember, Michelle Lee is at the... If they're going by the previous women's singles match, this was the end that started off very, very well.
Fourth. Service over. 1-2.
Kim Ga-eun has had a losing start to 2023. Only won 12 of her 26 matches this year.
Service over. 3-1.
Very nice start from Michelle Lee so far, Chris.
Yeah, it's been quite comfortable. I don't think she's had to do anything incredible. I wouldn't say we've had really a rally yet. I think it's both ladies are just getting adjusted to the hall and the conditions.
I was asking you before we went on air today about players getting time inside the actual arena, because you were saying obviously a lot of the time is spent in the practice hall, which is nearby, but you don't get that much time in here, do you?
No, you don't. It's just because there's so many players in the tournament and the allocation that they have in total isn't much. And the practice hall normally is very, very different from the main hall.
Right.
And it's integral to use the small amount of time that you have as best as you can to get acclimatized, as it were, to the conditions, because each hall is very different from one another. And I think this is what people maybe don't quite realize. In these stadiums, in these arenas, with the aircon, with the lights, with the size of the stadium, you know, there's so many different things which it does make quite a big difference.
Yeah.
And it's really important, and they can play different, you know, from day to day, from year to year. And it's important that the player feels comfortable in the conditions, and they do that as quickly as possible, so that when they start the match, it's not 4, 5, 6 points before they feel comfortable, or even longer. It's, you know, instantly they walk on a court and they feel comfortable and they're used to the conditions and they feel confident to be able to follow the game plan.
Service over.
I think also you made a very interesting point to me, that not only are the players not getting as much ideal time on the court, and that's just a consequence of the number of players that are here, but also you might be, if you do get time on the court, it might not be the court you're actually playing on, which it might differ from court to court.
Yeah, totally, and it could be a case that, I think the drift just sneaked that one out. That,
service over.
You know, your practice time is court 3 as an example, and then you play your match on court 2, and it's the other side of the hall. And it can be quite different the way that it plays. And yeah, it's great that you're getting time in the hall, it really is, because you need that. Because, you know, it hardly ever does it work out exactly perfect.
7-4.
And it's just about, you know, dealing with it and making sure that you adjust, and also analysing, coming down, say, let's say you play later on today and you're on court 1, analysing court 1 beforehand, so you've got a reasonable idea how it's playing. Is there a drift? Is it ND? And getting the feeling so that when you walk on a court, you know, straight away, you're good to go. It's not a case of you're giving your opponent an advantage that
Service
they
over.
feel comfortable before you
5-7.
do. In doubles, you know, you need to feel that as early as possible you feel comfortable that you can play any shot you want to because you have no apprehension about the shot.
Right.
If it's a case that, you know, you want to play a cross block, you feel comfortable. If you want to relift a smash, you know, if you want to play a poke, if you want to play a slice drop, you know, a big full smash, you got to feel comfortable that you can. So you need to play all these shots early on to feel comfortable.
A couple times her serves have not worked out for her.
6-8.
Chris, just looking at the serves there of Michelle Lee, we saw it earlier with Yamaguchi as well, and Tang Yiman to a certain extent. The long serve that they play, rather than the shorter one with the backhand, is that a preference thing? Is that a conditions thing?
Yeah, I think it's, let's say old school singles, you know, it was always a higher serve, make your opponent move the full length of the court, and then more recently, low serves have been introduced. I think you can adapt it to the playing style, to the conditions. You see some players incredibly aggressive on the low serve.
Yeah.
You can flick them, you can do a drive serve, you know. It's integral that you do whatever it takes to disrupt your opponent, disrupt their rhythm, make them feel uncomfortable. You know, doing the low serve is to try and get on the positive, as in try and get the lift early on. You see some singles players sometimes looking a bit less comfortable doing a low serve. But yeah, I think tactics-wise, whatever suits your, whatever doesn't suit your opponent, you know, and whatever you feel most comfortable with is the integral part.
And I guess varying it, like what Michelle Lee's doing here, is good as well, isn't it? Keeps your opponent guessing.
Yeah, and you change your style. If something's working, you keep doing it. If it's not quite working, change it up.
3 times now she's lost a point directly off her serve, Michelle Lee.
Okay, now we're sneaking out.
Yeah, it was. Kim Ga Eun has drawn level here after a very good start from Michelle Lee.
Michelle Lee challenges Ga Eun.
Our first challenge of this match for Michelle Lee here. That is about as close as it gets.
Unsuccessful.
Wow.
1 challenge remaining. 11-10.
And that gives Kim Ga Eun the edge here at the interval.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Play.
Kim Ga Eun's just gone about her business quietly.
Great shot there from Kim.
12.
Stepped in, took it early, and then had the time to just hold it and make it a really deceptive shot.
13,
It's
10.
a bit of a gift there from Michelle Lee. Simple mistake.
Biggest lead that she's had so far, Kim Ga Eun.
Service over. 11-13.
Oh dear.
Service over. 14-11.
Michelle just caught that one slightly wrong. I think it's an interesting one because when you look at the rankings in a match like this, and you've got Michelle at 13 in the world and Kim at 27 in the world, you know, you'd say in theory it should be fairly one-sided.
Service over.
But I'd say when you kind of look more into
12,
it, I'd say
14.
some of the performances Kim's had, she has beaten a few of the world top 10.
Yeah.
You know, she is a great player, and I do think it's a much more even game than the rankings would suggest. I'd say Kim can play at a level much higher than 27 in the world.
Service over. 15-12.
Yeah, she beat Ratchanok Intanon a few weeks ago.
Yeah, which was a great win.
Fantastic. And Hanya.
Service over. 13-15.
Brilliant block.
Service over. 16-13.
Maybe it's a Korean style thing for Michelle Lee because she's lost her last 5 matches against Koreans. Of course, 4 of them against Unsa Young. Never easy to beat her. Oh, lovely.
Great shot. Yeah, great shot from Michelle Lee there.
Service over. 14-16.
She was quick to everything, wasn't she, Kim Ga Eun?
Service over.
Yeah, since she had a bit of a slow start, but since then,
17-14.
playing well.
Again, aggressive Kim Ga Eun.
18.
Yeah, great
14.
pressure and follow-up. She kind of traps Michelle. Michelle can't get it away there on that one.
Nineteen 14.
That was very delicately done by Michelle Lee. She's got a fair bit to catch up on though.
Service over. 15.
Still 4 behind.
19. 16-19.
Three points in it here. Michelle Lee staging a comeback of sorts. And this is good. She's putting the pressure on Kim Ga Eun.
17-19.
Yeah, just a few simpler mistakes from Kim now.
Kim just trying to maybe slow it down if she could. The momentum with Michelle Lee.
Brilliant shot out. Fantastic.
18-19.
5 in a row here.
Call attended. Kim, shoulder.
Excuse me, 4 points in a row. She was 19-14 up Kim Ga Eun.
It's an integral point here, and this is where, for me, if I was Kim, I think if Michelle goes to serve backhand, I'd try and be a little bit more aggressive on the return of serve. I'd try and take the point on. I'm not saying I'd force it, but I'd just try and be a bit more aggressive from the start of the rally.
She's in such a good position, Kim Ga Eun.
18-19. Play.
The other thing is with how deep Michelle Lee's serving on the backhand, if she did flick, Kim would have so long to see it. Yeah, too slow on the return of serve, there's no pressure. Is that in? Just.
Yeah,
She
just
ends up
in.
winning the rally, but I'd say these
Service
things are integral
over.
to spot. Michelle's
20.
serving fairly deep on the
Kim
backhand, so if she does
18.
flick Kim's got a long time to see it, and also standing that deep, I don't know if Michelle will be able to get a really good flick in. So for me, Kim can afford to be a bit more aggressive on the return of serve.
2 game points here for Kim.
Yes, in. It's not going to go out that way because
Service
the drift's
over.
just going to fractionally keep it in. That's the safe zone.
19-20.
And that's more hoping from Kim there. If it's the other side, yeah, the drift will fractionally take it out. Just got herself mixed up on the sides, I think.
Still 1 game point here for Kim.
And that's a really cheap point. Really cheap point to give to Michelle Lee.
And she has drawn level, having trailed by 5 a short while ago. Michelle Lee is all square here with Kim Ga Eun.
Brilliant shot from Kim there.
Service over.
Another game
21,
point for Kim
20.
Ga Eun. Third game point, Kim Ga Eun. Can't convert.
Service over.
Looks a bit exasperated by that.
Again, you got to remember that it's only a small drift, but you got to remember the drift.
She makes that.
Yeah, I think that was a long way in. I think that was one of those that you hope. You just, you know, as soon as you're crossing your fingers, please let it be out.
Well, for the first time, Michelle Lee has the lead in a long time. She was trailing by 5, and she now has game point herself.
I do think since Kim kind of got that lead at 19, she's just gone a fraction passive. She's allowed Michelle to get back into it.
7 of the last 9 points have gone Michelle Lee's way. Still continues this though.
22-all.
That will be disappointing from Kim's point of view.
23.
A second game point here for Michelle Lee.
Yeah, really comfortable mistake there.
Doesn't make it over. Michelle Lee
First game won by
takes the game. She was rooted to the spot there.
24-22.
Not sure she would have made it necessarily, but doesn't matter. She's won this first game.
Yeah, and I'd say, if I'm honest, I'd say Kim, she obviously didn't mean to. She kind of threw that game away, in my opinion. A few more mistakes. She became a bit passive. Those last 2 rallies are real gifts for Michelle Lee. The shot doesn't even have to be tight. Michelle's kind of nowhere near it.
10 of the last 13 points went Michelle Lee's way. She's won that first game, 24-22.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Kim. Second game. Level.
Well, Michelle Lee comes into this buoyed by confidence, trailing in that first game for much of it after the interval.
Service over.
That's what I was talking about in the first game for me. You see there, Kim, so much more aggressive in the return of serve. And this is, if I was her coach, I would have instructed her at the end of the first game when she had those opportunities. It's a calculated risk, but take the chance to put pressure on your opponent's serve. And we didn't see any of that.
Service over.
Well, after winning the first game, Michelle Lee tends to win 88% of the time. So she would be, going by her stats there, the favourite here. An overwhelming favourite to go on and finish this.
Another cheap one there. It's just a simple mistake. You've got to remember where the drift's going. Brilliant shot.
Service over. 2-0.
I think we've almost had a almost a Jekyll and Hyde in a way to explain it with regards to Kim. She's either been really good or I think almost simple. I mean, there again,
Service over.
she's kind of given a lot of gifts away.
Yeah.
We've seen moments of brilliance, and you know it's no surprise why she has beaten some of the world's top 10 players. But then I've just seen too many easy mistakes for a player of her level. And it was the clear was just too short. Michelle Lee, when she struck it, she was clearly inside the front rear trap. Look at it, it's really short, it's almost half court.
Similar sort of start to the second game for Michelle Lee.
Yeah, I'd say
back.
Shot selection here. I mean, to try that from that, for me, it's not clear mind. It's the wrong shot to try. It's too difficult shot in that scenario.
Right.
Thank you. 5-2. Play.
She's playing well here, Michelle Lee. That momentum continues for her.
Yeah, Michelle's getting so much time on the shot line. By that I mean everything's a little bit simple from Kim, and Michelle's not really being stretched. She's on balance a lot of the time. She's got time to play the shot she wants to play. And that's what I mean, the other side of it, brilliant from Kim. Fantastic net shot. And then she gets the lift that's a bit shorter, and then she can have the placed attack.
Service over.
Only lasts 1 point.
3.
I would say Michelle's been a lot more aggressive off return of serve, and I don't mean with, you know, hitting just hard, but I mean taking the shuttle early, putting pressure on her opponent by taking the shuttle early.
17 of the last 23 points have gone Michelle Lee's way.
Service over.
Momentum is very much with that.
4-7.
That was very wayward from Michelle Lee.
Yeah, I think maybe two or three things just went through her mind there, and she almost got caught in between shots.
Service over.
That's the second time that's happened, right, in this game?
5.
Yeah.
A lot of unforced errors littering her game at the moment, Chris. Kim Ga Eun.
Yeah, I think she's finding it a little bit tough out there at the moment. But we have seen what she can do. She has done, you know, she's had some moments of brilliance.
Michelle.
So if I was Michelle, I'd just keep rolling. I'd just keep it going. I don't think she's having to do anything phenomenal to be in control or in charge.
Thank you. Nine, 5. Play. Service over. 6-9.
It's a great shot there from Kim.
7-9. Thank you. Thank you. Michelle, it's okay. 7-9. Play.
That was perfect as far as Kim was concerned. Just a point in it, despite Kim not being near her best here.
Service over. 10-8.
So it's Michelle Lee goes into the interval here with a 3-point lead in game 2, having edged that first game.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. (11-8) play.
The lead now up to 4 for Michelle Lee. Seems like we've kind of balanced out the ends, haven't we, a little bit as the days progressed?
Yeah, I do think the First Lady singles, it just kind of exaggerated it. It made it seem a lot more extreme than it was. I don't think the ends are quite as bad as it kind of
appeared to be, right?
Yeah, appeared to be, or it was portrayed to be. I think just Yamaguchi just had a slow start, which is uncharacteristic, but it happens, you know. World number 1, and it shows though. It was really impressive that she still didn't maybe play her very best, but she managed to win, and that's the integral part. The best players in the world find a way, even when maybe they aren't at their best, to win.
It's how you finish as well, right? Most importantly.
Service over.
Michelle Lee seems to be in her groove.
Thing is, there's only a 4-point lead, which is not that big a margin, but it feels a bit more.
Right.
I just feel at the moment Michelle just keeps rolling, and she doesn't have to change anything. It's Kim that has to change something, and I don't know if Kim can. And if she, I mean, as long as Michelle doesn't just throw in a few cheap points, The
10-13.
integral part is Michelle to just keep her discipline.
Remember when she kind of picked up the aggression suddenly, Kim Ga Eun, in the previous game? I wonder if that's sort of coming to the fore again.
Yeah, we saw it later on in the first game where she had that great run which gave her the lead, and it gave her the possibility to take the first game, and then I think she just kind of changed things and got a bit passive again. We've seen moments where Kim has been really good. I think we've just seen some moments where she's given, so that sneaked out, it has. She's given Michelle just some easy points, but then I feel like Michelle's now kind of doing that back to her. It just feels like some of these mistakes are comfortable ones.
Service over.
That has gone the way of Michelle Lee.
14-12.
Just stretching her opponent there, Kim Ga Eun.
13-14.
That's in. That's a good rally from Kim. Great pick up earlier in the rally there. She well to stay in it, and then fantastic turn at the end. Strange, we had that 4-point buffer, let's say, for Michelle Lee, and it's just kind of evaporated.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't say Kim's done anything drastically different. I think Michelle's just made a few mistakes. Kim's made 1 or 2 good points, and all of a sudden, that's cheap.
It's a giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of infuriating to see it from both players. They're making quite simple, unforced errors. Got to remember the drift when you're playing cross. Another unforced error for no reason.
Yeah.
16-14.
Remember, Michelle Lee was trailing 14-19, had to dig pretty deep and won that game. Is that going the same way again? Good reactions there. Rally's still alive.
Service over.
That was a good rally. That's the best rally we've had.
16.
Yeah, really nice.
Michelle. Service over.
Maintaining a lead here, Kim Ga Eun.
17-15. Michelle. Change. New set over. Thank you. Yes.
Michelle Lee was hoping to go for a little stroll to get the shuttle.
17-15. Play.
Well, we're looking at a very similar sort of situation to what we saw in the last game. So Michelle Lee wants to make that move. Now would be around the time to do it. Kim, 2 away.
I think what a turnaround this has been. Michelle had a 4-point buffer,
Yeah.
and just a lot of unforced errors, a lot.
Kim Ga Eun challenges called in.
I thought that might have been out initially, but let's see. Yep, it is indeed out.
Correction, out. 20. Game point, 15.
5 game points here for Kim Ga Eun.
Play.
It's hard to think. At one stage, Michelle was leading 13-9. And then what a turnaround.
Service over.
Third time, I think, in this
16,
game
20.
alone.
And this is the thing. And I do feel at 39 up, if Michelle had just stuck to the game plan, stayed, just almost feel like she just needed to work hard, move the shuttle around, she would have got points from Kim.
Wow.
20.
It's a well-worked rally from Michelle, you know, and we haven't seen that for, I don't know, 10 rallies or something like that. For me, she's been trying to force it. She's been trying to win the rally too early and then giving the rally away by making a fairly simple unforced error. That's a brilliant shot. Brilliant shot.
Nicely done by Kim. She's forced a third
Second
here.
game won by Kim
She's
Ga
turned around a 4-point deficit
21-17.
to win this second game. Nicely done here by Kim Ga Eun. She takes the second game, 21-17.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Michelle? On court. Michelle? Tower in the post. Thank you. Yes, thanks. Final game. Level play. One love.
Good start to the third game by Kim there. Really well placed attacking shot.
Two love.
Yeah, remember, it's Michelle Lee who's actually had the better start than the previous 2 games. Contact with the net.
Service over.
From Kim.
1, 2.
I do think sometimes, I mean, from where I'm sat, it's very hard to tell, but I do think sometimes it's so hard for the umpire to really be able to tell if it's the shuttle or if it's the racket. Still don't know if that was the racket, yeah. But it's so hard for them to tell because the angle they're at. I do wish there was some technology we could use to be able to.
Would you like that for that to be under the review?
It'll be nice just because I also think when a player takes the shuttle on top of the tape, and it's very hard to see if they take it on their side or the opponent's side.
Yeah.
It's so hard for an umpire to see that.
In real time,
exactly. I'd really like some kind of technology to be used that just takes that away from them because it can prove such an important thing in a match.
Right.
For the umpire, the position they're sat at, it is so difficult to see everything that's going on.
So is that something that you'd like to be challengeable, those kind of decisions?
I don't know, challengeable as such, because it would hinder the rally, but I'd like almost an intelligent robot to be able to analyse with a, obviously it's a complicated thing to figure out, but I just feel it's so much responsibility for an umpire, and they get a billionth of a second to make a decision.
Correct.
And it can be we're talking half a centimetre, we're talking maybe a very small amount. It's so hard for them to see it, and I just think it's, in those situations, it'd be nice if it was taken out of their hands and it was a case of a machine could decide.
That immediately makes that decision.
Yeah, and it would only call a fault, obviously, if they were over the net or if they touched the net. If they didn't, you carry on the rally.
So an automatic one rather than having a player have to try and challenge that.
Yeah. I don't think you can challenge it in that situation. I think it has to be a device that makes makes almost not an alarm noise, but you know what I mean. It will make a full sound, which means the rally's over.
That's good. For Kim.
I do think Hawkeye's slightly different because the rally ends and a line judge makes the call, and then you can disagree with the line call or not. Yeah. But I think it's brilliant that we've had Hawkeye come in because it's so hard even for a line judge. In some situations we've seen from Hawkeye, we're talking a millimetre here and there, but that makes such a big difference to the game.
Sure.
And I think it's great that we've got a system that can assist the line judge just to make that correct decision. All humans make mistakes, and nobody means to, but it's just great that we've got that extra buffer, as it were. That if
safety net, right?
Yeah, if they make a mistake, the Hawkeye can then review it and just double check. Forced it with the drift. Remember the drift. If you're going that way from a forehand cross court, you've got to remember, you're just pushing it out.
Yeah, that's going to carry it.
Yeah. Kim was playing a rally really well before then, moving Michelle around.
It's been littered, hasn't it, this match by unforced errors.
Yeah, I would say for two ladies of this high caliber, we have seen a lot of simple mistakes in comfortable situations. That's different. Michelle's played a phenomenal net shot there, and it's incredibly hard to lift that.
Michelle, play on. 8-4, flag.
Nicely done there, Michelle Lee. And she's pulling away, though we've seen decent leads whittle down before.
Yeah, it's been a pretty big run here from Michelle. 5-point run.
4. Service over. 5-9.
That was Michelle Lee's biggest run of the match, 5 points, which has been stopped there by Kim. Same decision from Kim in the
Service
back.
over.
I think she's going to leave it and then realise it's going in. By the time she takes it so low, she's struggling to control that. Yeah, she's taking it by her ear.
Sophie, that needs to be taken much earlier.
Yeah, you've got to make the decision earlier. It's hard because, you know, there's so many things to think about, where your opponent is, the tactics, the
11-5.
drift, the lights,
Interval.
all these things. And she's just made the decision too late to hit the shot she wants to hit.
So it's Michelle Lee goes in with a pretty decent lead here in the third game. It's 11-5 to the Canadian.
把它摸下来就好了。那如果你要抽的时候，这边可以抽，可以往这边抽，你不要往这边抽。这边一抽的时候球就出去了。然后你要抽的时候就往这边抽。那你尽量还是可以直接，它如果一边顶着有机会两边就把它拦下来，先把它摸下来没关系。它一戳的时候上去点掉推掉。
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Players on
做
court.
准备的时候，抓球的时候，可以然后记得往前跟防守的时候就往中间冲了，往中间冲。
A lot being said by the Canadian coach to Michelle Lee. She needs to see this through.
Play.
I think that is a possibility.
Was that going out?
Taken out, yeah.
Seven points now.
That's brilliant from Michelle.
13,
Fantastic net
5.
shot.
Building up this lead. 8 points now. Lovely on that drop.
Especially as Michelle played that incredible net shot with a broken string, which is even more impressive.
Five. Play. Service.
It's important for him to just break that
6-13.
little run that she's been on.
Yeah, it's a good net shot. It's tough for Michelle when she's that low, really, to do anything.
Seven, 13.
Couple of points in a row for Kim.
brilliant shot from Michelle.
Excellent.
Service over. 14-7.
It was really nice, the slice before that one. We're going to get to see it here. Yeah, this slice, and then she opens. Kim predicts it's going to go down the backhand, so she kind of opens herself up, and then great shot from Michelle to go back down the forehand cross court.
Service over. 8-14.
Doesn't make it over to Michelle Lee's frustration.
Service over. 15-8.
Leads by 7 here. She needs 6 more to win this match. Very different complexion this one, this third game.
Yeah, you just feel it's really slipping away from Kim now. Michelle's played a lot better in this final game.
Since the interval, it has been pretty good for Michelle Lee. 6-2. Sorry, 5-2. Sorry, 6-2. Yes. Let's get my maths right. 6-2. She's up since the interval.
Service over. 9-17.
Very much in that one.
Sneaked out.
Service over. 18-9.
She wants to just finish this off. Remember, she was in a very, very good position. Nowhere near as dominant as she is now, though.
Service over.
Good shot from Kim.
10-18.
Stepping in, finding the gap well. Over the top, still quite high base, steps in. Really tight block.
She showed some fight here before, Kim. She mounting her fight back. She has to do a lot, though, a lot more than she's done in any of the other games. This is the biggest lead anyone's had.
And are we going to see it? Are we going to see what we've seen in every game? A comeback. This would be the biggest of the 3 comebacks that we've seen. But, you know, the first set, person that was leading didn't win. Second set, same thing.
Yeah. That would be quite spectacular.
Wow.
Whoa, this is... now might start to get a little concerning for Michelle Lee.
Not very long ago, it seemed so comfortable. Brilliant from Kim.
Very
15,
nice.
18.
It feels like almost, you know, blinked and it's gone from, I think it was 18-9
Correct.
to now 18-15, and we've got a real game on our hands. It's a massive run from Kim.
6 points in a row here. It was so comfortable.
Michelle? Michelle? Thank you.
Remember, we saw something similar to this from in the Ga Eun match earlier
Service over.
with
Sorry.
Chico
Michelle.
Doyo. He fell short in the end.
15.
Too much work to do, but Kim Ga Eun has got the momentum back with her. Stepped up the aggression levels there, Michelle Lee.
Service over.
And she stopped the run.
Good constant pressure there from Michelle, and Kim nearly got herself out of trouble. I thought she did at one stage. And then when she went over there, it's just too short.
Stay on court. You want to power?
Interesting, that one.
Yes, on court. Call attendant.
Looking to finish this off now, Michelle Lee.
Thank you.
It's taken a bit out of them, hasn't it? And as you've mentioned, all those tournaments in recent weeks.
It's so important to make sure the court is wiped, only because sometimes you can't see it, but if there's just a little bit of sweat on the court, it's so easy to slip. And if you do, there's such a chance of there's a big chance of, you know, slipping and hurting yourself or not being able to recover.
Service over. 19-15.
And the umpire did the right thing there. The score wasn't quite right. Just get the mopper back on just to make sure it is. Brilliant shot there from Kim.
Service over. 16-19.
This is the thing, as I said, you almost see in a Jekyll and Hyde. I mean that's phenomenal. But this last patch where Kim's had a pretty big comeback, this is the great side of Kim that we've seen. But we saw earlier on, even in this final game, just a few unforced errors, just being a bit passive, allowing Michelle to dictate the rallies. And look at this, we're right back in.
17-19.
This is building up, isn't it? Two points in it now. Unbelievable. This is incredible from Kim Ga Eun.
And the way the game was going when it was 18-9 to Michelle Lee, there is no way I could have predicted this would have happened. Michelle looked in full control, and this is badminton, you know. Anything can happen.
9 of the last 10 points have gone Kim's way. Oh, she wrong-footed Kim, Michelle Lee.
Oh.
And what a momentum shift we've had. It is incredible.
This is amazing.
This run from Kim, when it almost looked like she was out of it. 18-9 down. to 19-all. What an incredible comeback.
Well,
And that picture there almost sums up, you know, Michelle. She's running out of ideas slightly, and the momentum, everything now is with Kim, but Michelle's got to find a way. She's got to find a solution to stopping Kim.
this is by far the biggest comeback of the Indonesia Open 2022, the 2023, excuse me. 5 points was the biggest comeback we've had so far in the game. This has been impressive. And she got on to win it.
Yeah, really short lift there.
Service
I think she had the indecision on the clear. Was Michelle's lift it in or out?
Match point 19.
She's got this solitary match point here, Michelle Lee. That is only a second point in the last 12. Can she convert this? No, she can't.
Service over.
We are going back to a similar situation that we had in the first game. All square. Remember, that was when Michelle Lee had a comeback of her own.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. We've had, I mean, the comebacks in each of the 3 games we've had, you know, they really are incredible.
And all of a sudden, it's Kim who has got a match point of her own.
20.
It's incredible, like full credit to Kim, the way that she's solidified her game, you know, identified. Maybe I was being a bit harsh on her in regards to some of the cheap mistakes she made, but I tell you what, from 18-9 down,
Yeah.
she's been so solid, so consistent.
Oh, she's had a couple of good chances. Michelle Lee survives.
21-all.
The tension's really building now.
Very, very tense.
Play.
Just sneaked in, I think
Service
that was maybe
over.
inside edge of the line.
Kim Ga
22,
Eun has her second
21.
match point.
It's a tough one for Michelle there, because I think she thought the drift just going to keep taking it, but it just sneaked in.
That's going to be out.
It is.
That is one of the big comebacks here at the Indonesia Open. Certainly the biggest we've had so far. 9-18 she was, Kim Ga Eun. And she's battled back superbly against the odds there, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for Michelle to take there. Full credit to Kim. She played incredibly well.
Match won by Kim
At the end, the very end of that
22-24,
final game.
21-17.
What an incredible comeback.
21.
She's won 14 of the last 16 points. Amazing. Yeah, she can't believe it, Michelle Lee. What resolve to stick it out and go on to win it. Michelle Lee couldn't get over the line. Kim Ga Eun beats her 22-24, 21-17, 23-21. She's done it in 70 minutes. Indonesians, such hospitable, friendly people, always full of smiles, and even more so now when they have a world-class badminton tournament on their doorstep here at one of the great historic badminton venues, the Istora Senayan. Is playing host to the HSBC BWF Indonesia Open 2023. 4 matches done, and we are now into match number 5. It's mixed doubles for the first time today in Court 1. Rino Vivaldi, Peter Haningjas Mentari will take on Tom Jikel and Delphine Delroux.